Hey there everyone, my name's Nadia and I'm currently a third year student at City University studying children's nursing. At City, the structure of children's nursing is set out as 60% placement and 40% theory. Some universities tend to put their students straight into placement and have them learn that way. But at City, they teach you the skills that you require first, or the basic skills that you require for placement, and then put you out on placement. I personally would hate to go out on placement straight away without learning anything. But at City, they equip you with all the skills, all the things that you would require at placement, and make you feel like you are confident enough to go off as a student nurse and make the most of your placement. So they teach you in a range of lectures, seminars, tutorials for your theory block. Now, once your theory block has been completed, you then go into placement. Placement can vary from hospital wards, community nursing, special schools. So there's three ways that our module in children's nursing are set out for theory-based in lectures, which are big halls filled with your cohort of children's nursing. So you learn a topic in your big lecture, which sort of is the overview of your module. Then you have seminars, which are smaller classrooms of way less students, and the module is taught more in depth. So whatever you learn in the lecture, you get that more in depth. And in this instance, you get the chance to ask your lecturer the questions that you couldn't ask in the lecture because the lecture is so big, which is great because, it's more one-to-one kind of thing because there's less students in your classroom, so your lecturer has more time for you and can go into more detail. And then you have tutorials. Now in City, our tutorials are taught in our clinical-based facilities. Now let me tell you, our clinical-based facilities are awesome because they mimic a real-life setting. So our clinical-based facilities are made up as a mock hospital ward. So we have beds there, we have all the clinical machines like blood pressure machines, we have observation charts, everything that could mimic a hospital ward. That's where we do our tutorials. Our tutorials are where we practice our practical skills. So we could practice things such as clinical observations, neurovascular observations, how to do intramuscular injections or subcutaneous injections, things such as that, and we practically do it with all the equipment that the clinical labs have. So they have pads that look like skin and that you can inject real injections in it to teach you the correct way to put an injection in. They have beds in which you can mimic a real life setting of a sick child and how you would do their observations. So the clinical facilities at City are amazing because you feel like you're in placement, and that is, for me, was so helpful because I'm doing a skill in a clinical lab where I'm learning, but I'm envisioning that I'm at placement. I have found that my lecturers and my course have been absolutely welcoming, full of knowledge on their chosen scope of their modules and things like that, and always willing and eager to help you get through the course. Because going into university is a big jump from sixth form or college or wherever else that you're coming through to get into university. There is a lot of content that you need to cover. It goes in a lot deeper. And I've found that my lecturers have been so helpful in terms of setting out a pace that we can go through all the modules, giving us the correct and essential information, and also just being there for questions when we need it. Because you might think, oh God, I don't want to ask this question. But for me, my lecturers have all been so understanding, so helpful, so friendly that I've never felt like that. I've always, put my hand up or spoken to them privately about something that I was unsure about, and I never felt like they made me feel like, oh, that question's not relevant, or how comes you don't know this? They really helped me thrive at City, and they're really helping me currently thrive at City because, as you know, in my third year, it's a dissertation year, which is a lot more pressure, but so far I've been getting all the support that I've needed from my lecturers and everybody else surrounding me. Another thing about City that I really loved is the diversity of City. And when I mean that, I mean there are people in City of every different race, different culture, different colour. It just makes you feel welcome. There's people of different ethnicities, different everything, but you still feel welcome because everyone here is welcome. So that is one of the things that I absolutely love about City. A further thing that I love about City is that the diversity of their placements. By that I mean I've had placements in hospital settings, I've had placements in community nursing, in special schools, in nurseries, anything that you can imagine. City has provided it via their placements. I say I love this because I have not just been given a placement in a hospital, every single placement. That wouldn't be diverse enough. That wouldn't help me hone my skills as a potential nurse. City has provided us with different placements to give us an understanding of where we want to work in the future when we become a qualified nurse and what kind of skills are required for the different placements. I am one of the students that travel to university from home. So for me, commuting hasn't been a big deal. I love commuting from home. Yes, public transport at certain times can be very hectic, especially at rush hour. But majority of the time, it's okay because your lectures are not spaced out 9 to 3:30 as school used to be or sixth form used to be. Your lectures could start at 10 a.m. It could start at 12 p.m, it could start at 2 p.m. It just depends how your timetable is structured. And City University is at the heart of London, which is amazing because once I commute into uni and I've done my lectures for the day or the seminars or the tutorials, me and my friends tend to like to maybe go out, get a bite to eat, catch a movie, whatever it is that we do. But because we're at the heart of London, we don't need to stress about getting a bus that will take us 40 minutes to get to where we need, or a train that will take ages, because everything that we require is kind of either in walking distance or 15 or 20 minutes on public transport, which is amazing when you think about it because it saves you so much time. I do get a lot of questions from people wondering how I fund my travel expenses, my food expenses, or anything else related to university. Now, I personally get student finance, which is a maintenance loan from the student finance company. It is a lump sum of money every term that student finance gives into your bank account to help you with these expenses. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a loan. Yes, you do need to pay it back, but this is where you do your research on whether you want the student finance or not. Alongside this, many students at university tend to get jobs. Now, as a nursing student, you really don't have time to get a full part-time job alongside your studies, because when you're not at university, you're at placement. I have a job with university via Unitemps. I am currently a WP ambassador and a student ambassador at university. The best thing about this is because it's with uni and it's not a permanent job which requires a fixed amount of hours, I get sent emails or I log into an online job portal that you get once you apply, and then they list the jobs available for me. Now, I look at the jobs and I look at the dates, and then I figure out, oh, okay, I'm not at university that day, or I'm not at placement that day, I can do that job. Now, this is a good way to get some money on the side if you need some extra cash. It is a role which you can choose what day you want to work and how many hours you want to work depending on the job that has been listed. So if you don't want to work that day, you don't apply for the job that day. It's simple as that. Now, City University has a lot of societies, and when I mean a lot, I mean a lot. There is a society for everything. There's a society for sleeping, there's a society for Harry Potter, there's a society for learning different languages, chess, basketball, anything that your heart desires, there is a society for it. So if you're looking to make some new friends or to join a society, City has multiple societies that you can join. I love City. Like, it has been one of the best experiences for me as a student. The atmosphere in City is so friendly, so welcoming, so understanding that you automatically feel like you're part of the university family, if that makes any sense. Obviously, going in as a student in the beginning, you feel a bit scared. Well, I know I felt a bit scared. I was nervous. Would I fit in? Is university for me? But the atmosphere that City gave off, whether it was the current students, the lecturers, anybody who works there, they were all so nice to me and so welcoming that within the first week, I forgot all my worries and I felt like I belonged at the university. I would recommend City to anyone that wants a welcoming and understanding university that welcomes all, really.